Welcome to Nintendo Voice, your voice for everything Nintendo. This is episode 5, being recorded on the 6th of June, 2015. My name's Lewis Pugh, and joining me to talk Nintendo, we have Harrison Milfeld.
Hey, everybody.
And Colin Crompton.
Bonjour.
On tonight's show, it's all about E3 predictions. We're going to talk about our own predictions, we move on to the listener questions, and then we finish with our bonus round, in which we asked you last week what are your E3 predictions. And we have had lots of responses to go through.
Oh, just looking through this, we do. Wow.
We do. Some lengthy ones at that, but they are very amusing, so definitely worth hanging on to. And obviously, finally, to finish off, we're going to give you a new question for the next bonus round. However...
But but as we did mention before, we're just recording this, everybody's probably expecting, aside from E3 predictions, we're going to be talking about what we think of Splatoon. We're probably not going to talk about that until next week, because of a couple reasons. One, Lewis, you said you have it, but you haven't been playing it that much.
That's true. I mean, I gave some very brief impressions on the last show. I've not touched it since, because I have been on holiday, and I only returned today. And so I'm planning on playing some tomorrow, and I'm probably going to get my butt handed to me, because I've not played it in some time. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to playing it.
I too was supposed to pick it up last week, but I got back from a college reunion / friends getting married, and I was like, okay, I'll pick it up when I get back from this flight. And I checked my bank account, and I'm like, I probably need to wait on that for a little while. So the Splatoon purchase has been delayed for a while, and I know Colin's copy is on its way.
Mine's been bought and paid for. I'm just Amazon's holding hostage at the moment.
Amazon holds a lot of things hostage, like amiibo buyers. They hide that hostage. For instance, I tried to buy a Shulk amiibo on there, and it's like, no, you won't do this. We're not gonna you may have gotten it. We're not gonna give it to you.
Yeah, I never did find anywhere to buy at the time a Shulk amiibo. I know it's way too late for that now.
Somebody had mentioned to me, he's hey, check the store locator or whatever. It'll show in stock where it is in stock in GameStop. And I looked in there, I was like, okay, I'll check it on there. The nearest one that was in stock was 100 miles away, and I was actually, I contemplated.
Oh man!
I was like,
the power of the Monado.
Yeah, it's not worth that.
No, I'd be driving towards the destination, just frothing at the mouth, just shouting I'm really feeling it.
Oh Lord!
On the word of Splatoon, it was actually announced at last year's E3. So in terms of turnaround from announcement to release, it didn't take too long. And so talking about our E3 predictions, there could possibly be games which are announced in, next week? Is that how close we are?
It's next week after. Week after.
Yeah, not this Tuesday from this recording, but the next Tuesday. So
that's right. Yeah. So depending on when you're listening to, either way, it's very close. But there could be games announced which we've not heard about yet and will be playable and released within 12 months. I think it's best, however, to start with what we saw last year from Nintendo at their E3, because there was, again, lots of games they announced that we weren't aware of before going into it. So we've mentioned Splatoon, but last year was also the year they unveiled Amiibo. We had our first look at Zelda, as well as Mario Maker, and we had Shigeru Miyamoto's projects, Project Guard and Giant Robot. We had seen a little bit about this before, but we basically had the review of Yoshi Woolly World.
So adorable.
Yeah, definitely. Kirby and Rainbow Curse, and of course, Smash. Believe it or not, that was although it was announced on paper, it was officially revealed last year's E3 with the trailers and so on. So there's a lot of stuff which was absolutely brand new at E3. So looking towards this year's E3, do we think that we're going to have as much new games revealed compared to last year?
I think with this, though, it's this is kind of the beauty of like Nintendo E3 is because aside from maybe one or two titles that you know off that we had seen before that we're going to see more of, you really don't know what they're going to announce on there because, and this is not to go against like its competitors, whatever. I mean, I watch Sony and Microsoft's E3 press conferences each year, and most of the time you can just kind of guess what it is, what's going to happen, but also a lot of the stuff that they usually just kind of, they pull back the curtains like earlier right now. I mean, right now we know that like Fallout 4 is coming out, so it's like, oh wow, the allure, I mean, it's awesome that's coming out, but the allure is gone like of that E3 surprise. But with Nintendo though, it's, in terms, I mean, we're going to be seeing during that digital event, I feel like more big titles that we're going to be seeing for 3DS and, Wii U, obviously, because, what was it, this past week, before this recording, we got a micro direct, which was just detailing, smaller, like, 3DS titles and a few updates on Wii U titles, for instance, like, Project Treasure, for instance, which we got some little bit of, like, gameplay footage, which, by the way, I mean, I'm intrigued by. So, I mean, it makes it good to actually hear that announced first, as opposed to see that during the main show. And, again, the focus here, like they said, it's going to be this, what is, aside from, the usual thing of, like, what we know is, Star Fox, as we know it's going to be there, what other big title is going to be here, the fall to drive those sales? I mean, part of me is, everybody's going to be saying, like, well, there's Xenoblade. And, like, yeah, there's Xenoblade, but that appeals more to that certain niche of people. I mean, on the Wii U audience, but surely enough, I know it's going to sell well, but it's not going to be that title that's going to move Wii U units.
It is a tricky one. I mean, as you say, there are things that we know that's going to be there, and even things that we know aren't going to be there, like Zelda. But in terms of stuff they've not announced yet, it is a tricky one, because I think that both the Wii U and the 3DS are kind of in odd places in their lifetime. It's tricky to think, which system they're going to lean on more, because there's usually 1 year they'll lean more on the Wii U or on their portable.
What do you think it was last year? Was it more of a combo of last year, or was it more leaning on Wii U? I kind of felt they covered all the bases pretty well.
Well, I think it was definitely Wii U, at least in terms of their conference.
I think it's more Wii U-centric.
You are right. Yeah, that is quite true. I mean, because other than that, it's No, you're right. Go, move on.
However, on the subject of Pokemon now, I mean, we've been seeing yearly releases of Pokemon now for quite some time. Will there be another one this year, announced and then released in the fall?
What can there be? I'm trying to think, like, what's another one that could be remastered?
Well, they could do... Saying that, have they ever done a third version of the series after they've done, like, a remake? Like, that they had, like, Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Gold, Silver, and Crystal.
Yeah.
Have they ever done that third version after doing one of their, like, side projects?
I don't think they have, no.
So, I don't know, but I know what you're probably getting at.
Is it too late to do, like...
Z.
Yeah, Z, basically.
Z. I could probably... Yeah, I could see probably one of those dropping, like, hey, here's more for this region.
X2 and Y2, or maybe just something completely different. Maybe without doing another 100 new Pokemon, but having a new region, having a new story, and just kind of remixing things in that sense.
Possibly. Oh, I don't think that. I can't see them doing that, though.
No? I reckon we will see a Pokemon RPG this year, or at least announced this year.
If it has to be really interesting, if they announced that they're going to do Pokemon Coliseum 3 after all this time. Because they tried to do an RPG on the GameCube with Pokemon Coliseum 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which one was that? Was that 1 or 2 that did that? I think it was 2 that was the one that was kind of full-fledged, hey, here's an RPG to it.
Yeah, the first one was you can only catch certain Pokemon. And, I mean, it still had a level-up system and all that.
I don't think neither of them were really full-fledged in the Pokemon RPG sense.
But, I mean...
I don't think we're seeing that this generation either.
No?
Maybe next time.
Maybe.
I wouldn't even guarantee that much. We're going a bit too far ahead now, but if they were to do some universal platform, whatever, that's how they trick the Pokemon company into making a console Pokemon game. And maybe that's one of their top priorities.
You think the series is going to remain exclusively for handhelds?
Essentially. They're going to be designed for handhelds. If the handheld games happen to be playable on the TV as well, then there you go. But apart from that, I don't think they will make a properly designed home console version, unless that portable one also works in the same way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do reckon this year we will see a new Pokemon game, as in the main series. If I was to do a more specific speculation, it will be that there won't be new monsters, there may be more mega evolutions. But yeah, it'll be either a new region or going back to one of the old regions. But I think they'll do a focus on story more than they have previously. And the reason being is one of the games the main game I was kind of playing my holiday, kind of in the evenings or just going off to bed, was a game that I had picked up but I hadn't really played much, which was Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. And I finally got over the hump, which was like the second gym or something, and I stopped playing it. And I actually played quite a lot of it, and I actually really liked it. And one of the things they have improved on that particular game is basically kind of how the cutscenes work and how the story works. And it feels more anime-esque, and it feels a bit more like the show. And it feels a lot less rigid than the previous games, and it was actually quite nice. I feel they could build on that engine.
But don't you think that the allure of a Pokemon game is the new monsters? I don't really see anyone playing Pokemon for the story.
Well, no, I'm not saying it would be the entire draw of it, but it'll probably be the new gimmick. But they do like to do, obviously, their, mid-generation games, their spin-offs, and so on. And so this is kind of how they extend the life of the generation. And I think they'll wait till the next system, or the next engine, to do all the new creatures and so on. But yeah, I think they'll try to do this, like, maybe a bit more experimental, maybe make it feel like, Forbid, like one of, like, a series of the anime, or maybe one of the movies or something, but actually do more of a, I don't know, more story arc on it. But that's one of my predictions for this E3. Pokemon with a story.
Pokemon with a story. It's tall order there, man.
That's never going to happen.
I always say when you make your predictions, obviously make them awfully specific, so there's obviously no chance that you won't get it right.
You can't do a blanket statement. And just
exactly,
hope.
yeah.
No.
Nintendo will announce new games.
There you go.
No. We're Nintendo. Here's some new games. Can you do something new? No, we will not. Here's some new games.
It clearly says new on the title.
Yes, new in the coloring of new 3DS and of the Amiibo font.
Yeah.
It just, within application, just not unlike Amiibo, you can actually find these things.
Yeah. Okay, so sticking on the subject of portable games, then, because this is probably in theory the smaller of the two subjects, what other portable games would you like to see announced at E3?
This is kind of like combining whatever. I know. I would really like to see. One time I think we know is going to see a little bit more. Prize term like localization or trailer more. We'll be seeing the next Fire Emblem series, like game, whatever. That's I believe is releasing in Japan this month, if I'm correct.
Ooh, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and I know that we're not getting Zelda this year, but I'm still standing by the fact that Colin and I are believing the same way as that it's going to be shown in some form, not playable. Yeah, it won't be playable. It'll probably be another trailer. But to fill that Zelda void, I wouldn't be shocked if we actually got another Link Between Worlds style game. That would be one to actually push at least more for the 3DS this fall, because last that time you had Pokemon and you had Smash Brothers, and this point right now, aside from the next Fire Emblem won't be coming here in the States or Europe until early 2016, that would be a good way to push everything out. Another one I'd like, just this is more realistic, and just because I'm not seeing this happening on home console just because of the way the series has performed lately, or over the years, or the way it was left, is possibly a Metroid game on the 3DS. I really would like to see something like that on there.
We'll go back to 2D stuff.
Yeah, 2D, 3D title, whatever on there. Something that goes back to its roots, essentially, like that. I mean, and I wouldn't mind something like, okay, say what you want about Other M, but something as far as you take that, the way that was laid out, as far as gameplay wise. I mean, but you're given the circle pad as opposed to just the D stick to maneuver around. I could see something like that. Something in that kind of style just to bring Metroid back.
Yeah,
it'd be really cool. 'Cause, I mean, Nintendo did that with Zelda. I mean, they took, they was going to remake A Link to the Past into like 3D graphics, and then they changed it to Link Between Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they took like Super Metroid and just made like the sequel. They sort of already done that. The sequel to that game, but instead of it being sprite work, it's all graphics. I mean, that'd be quite.
Yeah.
That'd be quite fun.
And then
I love that.
they could put in like a new hook or gimmick, where it sounds scary at first, but like A Link Between Worlds, where you came the painting on the wall.
That's right.
But it could take advantage of the fact it was now a 3D world. So maybe you could go around walls or something you couldn't previously, or maybe you could go into a first-person view at some points, and you'll be able to see a new, literal side to the world, and thus you'll be able to solve a puzzle which lets you explore more of that place you couldn't before. But it looks like you could have if you had that ability.
Yeah.
That would be really cool stuff.
Mm.
But something I wanted to quickly check with yourself, Harrison. You kind of made two notable predictions there. One was a new Zelda, and one was a new Metroid. For the new Zelda, did you say it would be based off the engine from A Link Between Worlds?
Yes, I feel
like a new game based off that.
Yeah, I don't really see them kind of changing it up too much. I mean, we didn't see that much change with Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks on the DS, so
yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
It'd be really safe to play it that way. But no, I wouldn't mind it that way. I mean, but it would probably be in a different era. I mean, nothing. It'd be wise to just not have the same layout from map layout like from A Link Between Worlds / Link to a Past.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think they could do that again, but it would be good to see that engine taken to a new place, a new location.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the negative points people said about that game. Was although they had many good things to say about it, some bits were too familiar. So it would be good to see that.
Fine. I mean, it was fine, but yeah, no, I totally see the reasoning behind that. Why it's just, well, yeah, we've seen this before, but it was still for that game. Whenever we're playing that wise, as far as story wise and cinematics on there, I mean, for a handle like that, it's really just engaging.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. Yeah, and I'm very up to. I mean, I'm not sure we'll see that, although possibly. I would like to see that game though. I think that would be a very good game.
Do you think we'll see another RPG though? Probably coming out of this one. If I had to wager something,
as in a new RPG from Nintendo, is this
a new RPG or revisiting an old classic or
was this be a Mario one? Because we know what's happening with Fire Emblem currently.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw another thing like in the a traditional Paper Mario game. Yeah. But I would save that more console. That's me. But let's have a return to Golden Sun. Well, the last one we had, what was 2010, 2011 on the DS?
Yeah, it's 2010, yeah. Dark Dawn.
What is Camelot doing currently?
Well, not much. I mean, the last thing they did was World Tour. Mario Golf World Tour.
And at the time, everyone wanted an RPG option in that, didn't they?
That's right,
Unless that was just me.
No, I certainly did. The Game Boy Advance game, to me, is still the best version of Mario Golf you can buy.
That would be cool to see.
They've been very quiet, so
I would take either that or another addition to Mario Golf or Tennis, which had an RPG mode in there.
Yeah,
Either would be fun.
Do you think they'll tackle a different sport?
That would be fun.
Yeah. Rugby or something.
Rugby. all the sports take internationally, yeah, I think rugby would it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I want to see Mario Darts personally. I think that'd be quite exciting.
Mario Darts? you want to see Mario Cricket? Come on.
There's so many missed opportunities, especially in the Wii generation. that need to take advantage of.
Not missed opportunities. We're just glossing over something that's possibly going to be a more violent Mario sports game, and I'm talking about Mario Highlight. Seriously, have you ever seen people play Highlight? My God, that is... you get hit with one of those Highlight balls. The people have died playing that game.
Stick to Mario Frisbee.
Mario Frisbee Golf.
Exciting times.
Okay, so while on the subject, any new Mario sport games going to be announced? Or any due? We haven't had any on the Wii U, have we?
I don't think so.
Unless you count Mario Kart.
Yeah. That's sport.
Or maybe Smash Bros. If you consider fighting a sport. Well, no, there's no Mario Tennis or Golf. No Superstar Strikers.
haven't had a Strikers game in a while.
No, we've not had any console sport games in a while. Are we due maybe a sport mix? Maybe this time not made by Square Enix.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoyed the Mario Striker series. Did you two ever?
I played a little bit there. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I played a bit of the Wii version. I remember it had its online mode was a novelty, which was part of the reason I picked it up.
back then. Yeah.
And not much has improved. But yeah, I'm not so sure about at least the sport games on the console. Product of a bygone era at this point. They seem a bit more arcadey and not.
Well, I mean, there's a spot for them. I mean, I think like Nintendo's the only one that's kind of keeping them alive. But I think I agree with you. Like, yeah, it's a bygone era of people that they're very arcadey and that very much as far as pick up and play.
Yeah, unless they do like a sport mix type thing, bundle a few together. And make it like a Wii Sports package, but have them have more full-fledged modes for each. Okay, we'll move on to, say, sports to parties. Will there be another Mario Party announced?
I doubt
Too
it.
soon, I think. Yeah.
Can it be too soon?
Oh yeah. Oh yes, it can.
Let's move on then to some games which were announced, but still aren't out yet. The first we've kind of covered already, but I'd like to get some confirmations. Zelda on the console, Zelda Wii U. Will it be talked about at all?
I think we won't see it until like near the end of the digital event. Well, it's either going to be briefly talked about in the middle or near the end, and it's just going to be shown like a new minute or so trailer. I can see again we're not seeing the same playable at here.
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you reckon it will get a name?
I still think it's a little too early. I mean, I really want Nintendo to go back to the Twilight Princess reveal. You know, that big epic trailer that they showed. Even though, I mean, if you watch that trailer, it's like blades will bleed and shields will shatter, and it's like, wow, this sounds really dark. And then Link's face shows up. So yeah, they did another trailer like that. You know, that grand sweeping score and everything. Yeah, that's what I want to see. But you know, right at the end.
Is that what you think we'll see there? That's the question.
That's yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes.
I think if they're going to show it again, because they've always shown off a gameplay trailer. And I think the only thing they can do now is reveal what the actual, the Link get up looks like in this. That's the one thing we haven't seen yet. Is the actual outfit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Nintendo for its word this one time. And I'm going to say there will be no... Well, there may be a mention, but there won't be any new information about The Legend of Zelda for Wii U. Unfortunately, I should add. I reckon it won't be too long after E3, for whatever reason, they will kind of blow the Zelda load, and with its own direct or something, or some sort of event. But it seems odd that they would say it won't be that at the show, so I think, for once, that might be the case. And I'm going to keep my expectations in check. Well, that one at least. Not for any of the others. The other game, though, is Star Fox. We saw a absolutely tiny, brief, little bit of gameplay footage, like over the shoulder, a pre-development type thing before they had found a proper studio for the job. Exactly. So, what do we think Star Fox has turned into? Do we think it's actually on track for this year, like they've said? Will we get the full... I mean, there's no reason, if it's not, we shouldn't get the full-blown, its full name, what it looks like, or what the mode's going to be, what's actually the game going to be about in general, and all that lovely stuff.
Yeah.
You mentioned like what this game turned into. It's like, well, I hope it wasn't just an all slippy simulator. No.
Simulators are very popular.
Wow, that'd be so much nightmares for the rest of your life.
It's like Animal Crossing, but all the villages are slippy.
Don't, man. Stop nightmares.
No, I don't see this game slipping into next year. I know we'll get a name. We'll probably get a trailer. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like one of the first games they show off to begin the direct.
So the question is then, do we think this is going to be one of their AAA titles, or will it just be like an above-average type thing?
I don't.
I'm getting skeptical of the fact that we've not seen anything about it yet, and apparently it's not that far off.
I they got to be very secretive about it, Lewis. That's what you got to do. No, I don't.
That's what they do.
You know,
They don't always do that, though. Sometimes they let us know what they're doing.
no,
They
I-
give us little, tidbits and directs and so on.
True. So far, we've basically watched a little sneak peek with me and Moto trying to fly the damn thing. And that's it.
Yeah.
but I think we're on agreement. Okay, like I say, like a studio that's picked this up, it's my money's on Platinum Games, but they're probably working on something else. And unless anybody else has another studio that's probably
I like
would
Platinum to be doing it. Again, if it was a game Platinum was doing, I think it would, be one of those AAA games. I'm just a bit skeptical about Star Fox's history. I mean, ever since Star Fox 64, the franchise has just kind of been handed across to developer, and it's not had fantastic results.
Well, Command was decent. Command was pretty good. It's like in between that is where it was. Assault had its few good moments with its combat, but it was right when you got yourself out of the R-Wing is where it just lost its stuff. Like
It all fell apart. Yeah.
And no, it was what the Namco did to actually give that atmosphere of what Star Fox is supposed to be. That was kind of right. Yeah, just judge yourself like how the presentation was or how the voice acting was. It still worked. It didn't. It just it missed the mark on a lot of things.
Exactly.
I think Star Fox Command may be the most depressing game I've ever played. Because every other character just dies. At one point, General Pepper dies, and I was like, "No, come on!" Spoiler, by the way. I was like, "They can't do that," But yeah, so sad. But I was thinking it'd be great if Nintendo gave it to a company that's handled one of its properties before, like Next Level Games, who did Luigi's Mansion 2.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked by that.
Yeah, so they've handled that, and that game was incredible. So give them a chance to stretch their arms on a Wii U game. So
yeah. Now, I'm very much looking forward to Star Fox's reveal. In a way, I do think it will be the big game of the show. I'm hoping it will also have a good multiplayer mode, and I've got a suspicion that they may even, you may be shocked to hear me say this, have a online push in terms of it might have online focus mode with voice chat and some other apparent forward-thinking features like clans or some other bits and bobs.
Forward thinking for like 2005.
Well, exactly, but I mean, I think Nintendo could possibly pitch this as a game which has a good single-player mode, but also has a good online mode which can keep the game
So
active going
basically,
forward.
the Splatoon format.
Kind of. I think that could be how they handle this, as in the single-player mode has never been huge in Star Fox games. You've always been able to,
Wait, did you say the single player game in Star Fox games was never that huge?
Oh, in terms of the length, like you could beat one.
I was saying, like,
you could beat Star 64 in like 40 minutes or so.
oh yeah, that's it. No,
You could
Exactly.
fly.
So I feel an online mode could complement Star Fox quite well if done right. But that's the key issue.
Well, no, I could see that done with like Platinum though. They could actually find a way to stretch this out a little bit more. I mean, yeah, then again, Platinum games are known to be pretty short, but not like a usual Star Fox game that's short, which is like an hour. You could possibly finish it in.
True.
No.
Platinum is good by putting in like different rewards and so on for making you replay areas, and they even in Bayonetta 2 have like online co-op mode, so you can go with a friend and do different challenges. So all those things in theory would work as well in a Star Fox game. So that would be a good matchup.
Platinum also do love their really, really snazzy cutscenes.
Yes.
And I'm not sure how that fits in with Star Fox.
I think it would fit beautifully.
You think?
Well,
You
in
wanna
terms
see
of...
Fox doing ninjutsu,
Well, no, I don't think that would even... Well, and we might get a bit of that with Platinum, to be honest.
Yeah.
But even with the crew staying in their individual ships, you could have some spectacular moments of just, ships weaving in and out of, like, monsters' tentacles or teeth and explosions and so on. They've directed some crazy action scenes in somewhat of a similar vein, so I would be very happy to see them take a chance at it.
It's Platinum. You can possibly expect that from them.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're all hoping Platinum for Star Fox, which would be very cool. And unfortunately, they've not really given us a huge amount to go by. So, unless anyone's got some very specific Star Fox predictions, we'll move on.
I'm good.
I know there's going to be an online component. I feel there'll be an online. No, I figured
you're going to join me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured there'll be an online component. So that's me.
Okay. So, Smash. Will there be new Smash stuff talked about at E3? Because we know there are new characters coming. Will one of them be announced at E3?
I'm setting the over-under at 2. And by the way, I think before this recording this podcast, Lucas is officially coming out on, today's the 6th, 7th, the 14th.
Yes.
Yes, so we got that. That was, I completely forgot that he was going to be DLC. I was like, oh, it's June already. But, no, I would not be shocked if we saw maybe 2, 3 characters that will be... No, I know, I went over characters.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went over, but no, I could probably see something where it's spread out, kind of like the Mario Kart DLC.
Yeah, that's true. And it could be that they tie in with a new release, so there's no idea what it could. We wouldn't have any idea what the character could be.
Yeah, like the whole the character ballot is just an incomplete ruse, or like, yeah, thanks for the selections, but we already decided on this a while back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've decided on a character that you didn't even know existed because it was in development.
Well, no, watch this with Star Fox. It could possibly tie into that.
Exactly, yeah. It could tie into a number of things. So Harrison, you reckon there will be at least some Smash Bros. Content announced?
I hope they're talked in brief, because I like seeing more how that these Smash and Mario Kart are these own little worlds where it's just like you can build upon it, whatever, especially a finished product, just to make it better. I just don't want to see it talked so much more. Same as like Mario Kart 8, they talk about more DLC. I mean,
yeah,
this is just something we need to talk about new stuff at this point. I mean, I know this is, that's just me.
I've got an odd concern to raise. I recently played Smash on the 3DS and noticed there weren't really that many free slots available on its character select screen. And if they were to try and squeeze in another row, the icons would get very, very small.
I'm sure they'll make it so like the character select screen scrolls or something.
That's a much more sensible idea that my developer brain could not think of.
It's like, oh wow, there's 2 screens. What can we do?
Yeah.
All of that, yeah. Many solutions. Okay, I'll move on.
It's like, where do we put this spot? There's another screen at the bottom. Use that.
It's like on its own. You just have to touch it. They won't let you use the cursor.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on from Smash to Animal Crossing. Now, this isn't one which is actually being announced in any sort of capacity whatsoever, but it seems to be rumoured somewhat. Do we think there will be a new Animal Crossing announced?
I can't see it happening.
No? Okay.
I wouldn't be shocked if there's a console version, but...
Because that seems to be the pattern. I mean, we've not had a console version of the game since, its original release on...
That's very true.
No. We haven't seen one since City Folk, but here's the thing. I wouldn't be shocked if they announced one, but Animal Crossing has, since, what was it,
the DS version.
Since Wild World and, City Folk New Leaf, I think between that and New Leaf, whatever, you realize how this series is a bit more tailor-made for handhelds. And I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if they announced it, like I said, but it's something I really don't want that, just because it's something that I would probably be excited to pick up, but I wouldn't really enjoy as much as I did. It had to be something to a point where it traversed it so much more than City Folk and New Leaf for me to actually engage a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's a peculiar one, really, because I think anyone who's played Animal Crossing on both a console and both a portable kind of gets that it makes a bit more sense on the portable at the end of the day. But it also makes quite a bit of sense on the Wii U. I mean, it's got that big touchscreen on the controller. That could be very useful in Animal Crossing. You could draw patterns. You could type on the keyboards. You could do lots of little things which would help with the task you do in Animal Crossing. And just the fact that because it's a console game, again, in theory, maybe they could do some more online type hooks. It's stuff that they have done in the past, both on the console and in the portable. But maybe they could do more with it. Maybe you could have more than 4 people running in your town. Maybe you could all go to a much bigger town, created by Nintendo or something. and have like lots of people running around. And maybe even, like the Wii game came before it, they could bring back voice chat. And so maybe they could just make it more bigger and better, even though it wasn't portable. I think there are things they could take advantage on the Wii U. Plus, I kind of think it's a bit inevitable. Just because the Wii version did actually do quite well, despite the DS version doing very well as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, New Leaf, what was it? New Leaf, I checked online, it's like its sales are up around like 8 million worldwide.
Yeah. And I think the other thing which could indicate that one may be coming is because we've got that weird little eShop 3DS game coming later this year.
Not Style Stabby, Susie Homemaker. No, I just said Susie Homemaker. Animal Crossing, what is it?
I don't know.
No idea.
I forgot. It's on the tip of my tongue, and it has the 3DS, and it has the amiibo
Home
card.
Design or something?
Oh, Happy Home Designer. Yes, Happy Home Designer.
And yeah, as you alluded to, it does come, it is compatible with amiibo cards. And so I reckon these same cards will work on another game, which would be Animal Crossing for the Wii U.
Oh, God.
And maybe they would work in some way that you could... well, in theory, because amiibo figures can hold data, so I assume an amiibo card can as well. So maybe you could... I don't know, really. You could do that particular design on the 3DS game and it unlocks something, which you can then tap onto the gamepad and then you get something in the game. But maybe there could be something where, you play the mini game, you get something in the new game as well. I think that's kind of a Nintendo-y thing to do. And I think the time is right for a new one of these, either this year or next year.
I still think the more logical thing, the path to go down would be just make a sequel to the Portal game and keep it on 3DS.
I agree, that would be the logical thing to do. My prediction, however, is it's coming for the Wii.
Nintendo isn't logical, yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Animal Crossing 2 for the 3DS, with just more features, more stuff, and proving what they've done. Keep it portable. Put number 2 on the end. I don't think that's what's happening.
New Leaf 2.
New Leaf. Okay, we've kind of talked Zelda, we've talked Metroid, we've not talked Mario.
Ooh.
The last, proper Mario game was Mario 3D World, and I guess 3D Land on the 3DS. Is it time for a new proper mainline Mario game?
I'm going to throw it straight at her. We're going to get Mario Sunshine on Wii U.
On the Wii U?
Yes.
Wait, as in a remake, or like just on the virtual console?
It'll be the same thing I did for Wind Waker. They'll just put it in HD. It's quick and easy.
That's the thing. Okay, here's the thing with like Wind Waker though. Between that, Wind Waker's a game, whatever that you would want to see in HD, and one. And I understand. I'm one of those people who does not really like HD remasters unless there's a point to it. Whereas with the Wind Waker one, Wind Waker on itself in the GameCube, its visual style made to the point where it aged really well. Yeah. And in this case, it just brought it out more, and plus it was a good template for the team out there in EAD, or Nintendo EAD, to actually get their feet wet on, HD Zelda. So that's what it came to. But there are so many. I mean, for that, no, it's just like, I don't hate Mario Sunshine. It's just, if you're going to talk about a Mario game, I mean, no, and the thing is, I like that game for its difficulty. It sans its final boss battle with Bowser in a tub, and, what was that? No, I asked myself, I mean, there's a lot to weird me out in Mario. For, like, as much as there's weird stuff in Mario games, it takes a lot for me to say, I don't think that was no, it's like, I don't think that was right. No. If I wouldn't see that, but it's like, how about maybe, Paper Mario again?
On the Wii?
Yeah, Paper Mario on the Wii U. I think we have a proper new one that has, like, not Super Paper Mario, something that's in the same vein as Thousand Year Door or the original Paper Mario.
So you want to see high definition paper?
Yes, I do.
I'd be behind that.
That's exhilarating.
I think it would work on the Wii U.
Did you ever see the trailer? No, did you ever see the first commercials to Paper Mario on the 64, where it's just little paper? Yes, that's exhilarating and funny.
Just on a functional level, I think any sort of RPG-like game would work very well on the Wii U screen.
Mm.
So you could use that for I don't know, just selecting your moves or managing your infantry as you're running around on the overworld. That would be cool. But I also got the feeling that we will see some sort of proper new Mario game. Although I don't know whether this will be 3DS or Wii U, or what sort of form it will take, whether it will be Galaxy 3 or 3D World 2 or just something new. I thought it would be something launching this year, but I don't know more than that.
My main concern is that it's going to throw Mario into another crossover game. Because that's all they seem to be doing with lately. They do Mario and Sonic, which he's always been in. They did Puzzle and Dragons Mario Edition.
So what's the next one then?
Yeah,
what is the next one? Star Fox and Super Mario? Seriously, what would you feel like if it was just Mario, Peach, Toad, and Princess Peach? No, Mario, Peach, Toad, and Luigi in the R-Wings.
Okay, this is the true game Panasonic's working on. It's Mario and Bayonetta.
Oh my god.
Please don't.
Teaming up to defeat evil.
Please don't.
It's a perfectly natural fit.
Of course it is. I mean, well, I didn't know anything of that. Oh.
But yeah, no, I'm hoping for a proper Mario game. Although, yeah, my guess would probably be the 3DS,
do you think we'll ever see the much wanted Galaxy 3?
I think Nintendo's saving, especially, Nintendo Tokyo, they helped develop those. I think they're saving as much as possible to, they want to hit another Mario platform out of the park. I mean, Mario Sunshine, as fun as it wasn't that true successor to Mario 64. Galaxy, I felt like, was that definitive, leap from that one.
Yeah.
Actually, I reckon it could be a Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
Not just
it's not necessarily what I'm hoping or wanting, but I'm suspicious it could be Galaxy 3. Maybe it also announced alongside. Actually, they sold one Galaxy 2 on the Wii Virtual Console. Recently,
exactly, yeah. Didn't they just getting people ready for it, or?
Well, I was just about to say maybe they would do a 1-2 punch and do HD Galaxy 1 and 2 as a bundle, and also announce 3, and release them at a similar time. But that would make even less sense.
That would make even less sense, because Galaxy 1 and 2 don't follow on from each other. They're the same story told different ways.
True, but I mean, if you go HD one, you've basically HD the other, so
yeah,
you might as well stick them in a bundle.
Stick the whole log. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Maybe Galaxy 3 is a tricky one, really. I mean, because it seems like that would be a fairly easy game to make, just in terms of you don't have to focus on a new world. You've already got your engine. It's just a matter of making those new levels. Yeah. And it seems that that's what people
the
are
cat suits back in.
Well, maybe they would put the cat suits in there. But it seems like a game people are asking for, and it seems like this is the sort of time that Nintendo would have listened and you go, alright, it's not going to take a super long time to do, it's going to fill this nice gap. And it's like giving back to... I think they might have done that.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, alright, that's my Mario prediction, Galaxy 3, begrudgingly. So we'll move on to... Well, before we move on to new IPs, what IPs have we not mentioned yet which may make an appearance?
F-Zero. Like the big one that I want. F-Zero, but...
Do you reckon it will?
No. I reckon it won't.
We've had hints. It's not a forgotten franchise.
No, it's Mario Kart now.
Franchise. I wouldn't be not be surprised. Maybe get a shot at what Kid Icarus is coming up to. Maybe get a console version or something, a console game that featuring him.
Or is this Kid Icarus? So would this be like in the vein of Uprising?
Uprising HD?
Or just meant like something like... So it's... Because obviously Uprising was nothing like what the original game was like. So would it be like another game which was just quite different? Or would it be like a platform, or would it be like Uprising?
I mean, in terms of IPs, apparently Retro is going to unveil a game this E3.
Yeah? Is that
I hope so.
I personally hope so.
Oh,
and
okay,
like I said, if it's Donkey Kong again, I'm going to scream to high heaven.
Yeah, I don't think it will be.
No.
As much as I like the taunt.
No, unless you taunt, what would be your reaction if they announced, here's Retro's new game, and it's just Donkey Kong again? What would, honestly to God, what would just be...
it'd just be sheer disappointment.
What if that Donkey Kong game was a HD remake of the first game? It wasn't even a third one.
Talking about original Donkey Kong Arcade.
No, sorry, I meant as in Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Oh.
They've
All this
already
time.
done it once. They
Well,
can't do it twice.
Well, they didn't
Because if you
redo
do that, that's just like great. That's like high level trolling.
it. It is.
Yeah. That's beyond trolling.
And hidden away in the game are like prototypes of Metroid games, which you can unlock.
Metroid
Oh,
Dread's in there somewhere.
Metroid Dread's in there. What was it? I think what was it in Donkey Kong Country Returns? They actually in the background it had like
Samus' ship, wasn't it?
It was Samus' ship, and they had one of the boss characters from Super Metroid, Crocomire, in there, and his skull in the background. It's like the game series is like taunting everybody. It's like, hey, you want this? It's just a giant middle finger to Metroid fans. Like, you're not getting anything.
So,
no.
will we see a new Donkey Kong game?
3DS, there we go. We'll probably see a 3DS version of Tropical Freeze. There we go.
That's actually
Actually, that'd be quite, yeah.
Would it be? There's no reason for it to be on the. Actually, no, it could be a new. If they manage to get the original game onto it, then they probably can do the new one. Although it did look prettier, it's purely because it was on a HD screen. I imagine you could get it down to the low-res 3DS screen without any issues. Would be my guess.
Probably.
Taking a lot of assumptions there. What have we not covered then? I think we've done the big ones really. So what about this is the tricky one. What about new IPs?
Ooh.
Last year we got Splatoon.
We got Splatoon.
And I half guessed that one. I said there would be a colourful first-person shooter this time last year, and we got something quite similar. Any guesses what could be announced, which is the new category?
It's difficult. I mean, it's.
Well, actually, I guess the first question is: do we think there will be a new IP?
I think there'll be one. And I think that's probably something in Miyamoto's projects that he's done. But also,
I was going to say, yeah.
But then again, I am one of belief that those projects may combine into one, with Star Fox probably, because Project Giant Robot and Project Guard. I really feel like that's what the Star Fox. And it got me thinking, like, oh, Star Fox is kind of going the route of Pacific Rim. Okay, I can see that.
I was gonna say, yeah. See, Giant Robot to me doesn't fit with Star Fox at all. It doesn't.
It could, I think.
I don't think it could.
Fair enough.
Whereas Project Guard is much more. Again, I don't think that fits entirely.
Well, I think Giant Robot fits more in the sense that Star Fox to me has always seemed a bit like a cheesy Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, but what's the Star Fox like?
Giant robots fighting each other could in theory work in that universe. Because some of the boss enemies you fight seem to be clunky robots in some fashion.
Yeah.
So I can imagine there could be like a side mode type thing, which for whatever reason, just because they need to find a reason, focuses on these robots fighting each other, good ones and bad ones, and you can make up your good robot.
If Star Fox leaves Darwin again, I'll probably cry.
Well, no, they'll be sitting in in the cockpit in the head.
Well, do you think it docks into it? And
yeah, in a way. It's better than running on.
Turning into Power Rangers. It's terrible.
Turning to Power Rangers, but if it's something something out of Pacific Rim, and somebody goes through the drift, drift compatible. Like, could you imagine being drift compatible with Slippy?
I don't want it. I don't want that. No.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, yeah, we probably should tackle the Miyamoto experimental games. So yeah, Project Guard, Giant Robot. So will we officially see the conclusion of these weird 2 projects this year?
Yeah, I definitely think they'll spin into their own separate games.
Their own.
I think they'll both be like downloadable eShop titles.
Oh, right, so separate, small eShop titles.
Yeah. That's
maybe even announce one for release on the day. After E3 you can download Project Robot or something for $5.
They're like doing these they're like in their free to play.
Okay.
Loads, payment model. So
pay to play.
Yeah, or pay to start, as Iwasa likes to call it. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think we'll get an update. I reckon maybe one of them gets dropped.
Do you think?
Possibly. I don't think it's guaranteed.
So which one do you think will get dropped?
Possibly Giant Robot.
You think so? I mean, we both played it, and I mean, it felt very loose and clunky. I know it's like alpha, but
Yeah, I think the most
Wait,
fun
you guys
part
got to
of
play
it
it
was
last. Wait, you guys got to play Giant Robot?
yeah, when was that event? That London event?
it was about a month after E3, I think, wasn't
Okay, that's what it was. I was thinking
Yeah.
like I didn't realize I was there, huh?
it?
But
Yeah.
no, I wanted to say something,
Sure.
it's we're forgetting one thing that's happening during that week, and it's the Nintendo World Championships.
Of course, yes.
Do you think we'll have a wizard style reveal?
Oh, I hope so.
No, because like this is before the digital event.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm saying, do you think we'll have something?
Yes, that has got to be. Oh, come on, they can't.
Or maybe
they can't.
they just have a tease, and then to be like, to be continued at E3 sort of thing. So they half announce something. Because it'd be weird to just fully announce a game before E3 like that.
Well, it happens all the time. Yeah, it has happened before.
I guess.
So I think they will. I think it'll be quite a substantial title as well.
So, do you reckon it'll be in that same vein a game which is ready for them to play and compete at for that round?
Well,
Yeah.
are you talking about giving them a new game to compete with, like that one, like that I was just talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, it's just like it's very. Well, it was like one of the first games they announced, like Zelda, like the original Legend of Zelda, is that they're going to be playing with. So.
Yeah, which is an interesting choice.
Gives me flashbacks of the little bits of Amiibo, or whatever that app was called, where I played
Oh,
2-minute chunks of Zelda.
Your Kirby amiibo gave it
Yep.
to you.
Good old
Yeah.
Kirby.
your Kirby amiibo gave you Zelda. Oh, thanks, Kirby. Wow.
And it's
I mean,
also-
you could have gave me any. You could have gave me any of your games, but you decided to give me one that's not yours. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You know, what a sport. What a sport there.
Yeah, on a very small sidetrack, I currently have a newish Kirby theme on my 3DS, and it plays this very lovely orchestrated Kirby music behind it, and it's quite a nice theme actually. I think it's kind of meant to be woodenish, but
Okay.
it's just quite nice. I just thought I'd make a note of saying it. I think it's mostly the music. It's got some very lovely Kirby music, and I just sometimes just leave the 3DS open a bit more than I need to, and I'll listen to the nice orchestrated version of the Kirby tune.
That's nice.
It is very nice. Will we see a new Kirby game?
Do you know what? Actually, that's not a bad idea, because it's been a while since, well...
Yeah, Kirby Triple Deluxe this.
Well, we've not had a proper one for the Wii U. Obviously, we've just had...
What's it called?
It's because it's got a different name in each continent.
Rainbow
Rainbow
Curse.
Curse it is, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
But
this is why it's difficult talking about names with you right now. It's like that because it's so different. And plus, by the way, you guys get Yoshi's Woolly World way before us.
Yes,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is odd. But good.
I'm indifferent to it, so...
You're just in it for the amiibo, aren't you?
Oh, of course.
No. Like, trust me, Colin. Once you lay your eyes on the Yarn Yoshi amiibo, your hearts will melt, and you'll be like, "I have seen the light. I will buy every single one
I'm
of
not
you."
seeing that light, buddy. No, never.
Will you buy, what was it? Is there 3 or 4 of them?
There's 3. I know the green one is.
So that was a test.
Uh,
No, if you had them all, you could you could fashion them as this like very comfortable pillow. You could fall asleep on them.
You guys. We need to sort this out.
All right. So, under Colin's quest, what sort of amiibo do we think could be coming at E3?
What will we see as far as amiibo this year?
It's gotta be
No,
good stuff.
this will happen. They'll announce the next wave of here in the States of the Smash Brothers side, and nobody will watch the rest of the digital event because they're too worried overloading Amazon and Walmart.
Yeah, they say they go live like the moment the announcement. It's like the first thing they announce. No one watches.
Chaos.
Yeah, that'd be
chaos
quite
to listen
crazy.
to.
So yeah, I mean, they probably will announce some because they did go quite amiibo crazy last year, if memory serves.
Well, yeah, because it was the first time they were unveiling them.
Yeah, and so we'll probably see some new.
Well,
Series
not unveiling them.
to go with
That's taking it lightly. They didn't unveil. they didn't unveil them. They unleashed the beast that would be Amiibo
At least
on the world. They basically it just looked innocent and on paper like, oh wow, this could be actually a pretty nice little hit, good little hit for Nintendo. It didn't become a hit. It became a monster.
So, Colin, was that a prediction of a Kraken Splatoon amiibo I heard then?
No. No, it wasn't.
Even though the game's already out in Japan, I would really, really love some Xenoblade Chronicles X amiibos, like one of a scale.
Yeah, do you know what? That may be the only one I would consider pre-ordering.
That would be cool. And that actually, something I could see coming up at E3 is Fire Emblem If amiibo. Because I think the timing could be right for as a
Lewis,
oh, go on.
you do realize that Fire Emblem amiibos are the hardest to come around and the ones that they don't produce the most of.
Well, that's why it would make a good announcement. They get their
It would
own
make a
line.
good announcement, but it wouldn't make a good announcement on my sanity or my wallet. Seriously, no, this is me. I was trying to order, I looked at the Robin amiibo, and I was like, oh wow. It was somebody, like, one of the few Twitter accounts that had it on there. I was like, okay, I'll get this. I had it in my cart. I was like, alright, good. Like, $14. Go to checkout. No. Go to checkout. No. Go to check. Gone. There.
Wow.
Yeah. I reckon new Fire Emblem amiibo will be revealed as a something to get us excited for, and something for the Japanese can hear, and it will probably be announced before released before we get the game. But
yeah, I can see.
New.
But I want to say this going off a rumor. Rumor that there would be an Amiibo specific game, and I believe the rumor is that like Activision and Nintendo would be teaming up to have Amiibo support for Skylanders.
That would be pretty big.
But also, that would be nice. But I am crossing my fingers just for an Amiibo style game where you can play that for. So that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, I think it's time we get a Amiibo centric game, something which every Amiibo works with, and it actually does what you would expect the figure to do. And so
that'd be nice.
Exactly, you tap the figure on there, and that character appears in that universe, in that game, whatever form that game takes.
So basically, it'd be the Disney Infinity of
I guess. I've not really played Infinity. I've heard bits and bobs of it. But yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking of. So I guess it would have the part creation aspect where you could, create create your own little games as such, with the figures and the characters, and there's parts where you could just kind of play levels from the series of those characters kind of made in the engine of that one game. So yeah, I guess quite a bit like Infinity, or I guess actually not really that much like Skylanders. Yeah.
It's just basically Super Smash Brothers, but an RPG.
Ooh, an RPG element could work quite interestingly. Got my mind whirling.
But I'm not sure that would work for these Splatoon Inklings, because those are just meant to unlock. They don't have save. They can't write save data.
I think they all have the same chip in them essentially.
Well, they have the same chip, but I think the Splatoon ones can't write. They can't hold save data.
Or can they not? Or is it just that they're not compatible with any games which do it yet?
No, I think it's the fact that those were meant to unlock things in Splatoon.
How peculiar. Well, that would cause a very interesting thing to work around in a game like that, then. I wonder how it would handle it. But yeah, I think on the very least you could still place them on the so-called portal on your gamepad, and the character could appear in that new game. And so I think that's the main thing it would have to overcome. So do we have any kind of predictions which we've not covered yet?
I could see a price drop for the Wii U.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was going to go on the same idea, but my idea was they're going to show off a redesign of the Wii U.
Okay. What would the redesign be?
It'd be like a Wii U Mini.
Does it lose functionality at all?
Do you know, they'll probably lose the backwards compatibility. Which,
well, if it loses,
I'm going on the same idea that I did the Wii Mini. They dropped for the online collection can't go.
Exactly. Yeah,
it
really dropped a lot of things.
I mean, Reverse, well, that relies on it. But I can definitely see them dropping backwards compatibility for a cheaper Wii U.
But how big is the memory in this though?
Oh yeah, go back to the 8 gig one maybe. That will give the new basic.
Maybe. But you can't do that. Memory's too small.
Well, that's what they sold originally.
I
they're
know.
doing an
Maybe,
EU version.
yeah,
then-
but no.
And
But
it
you know, when
doesn't
you
make
had-
any sense why they did that.
Yeah, no, because it doesn't make sense when you had 8 gigs, because when you had to actually install the software when you first got the console, it took like 5 or 6 gigs away.
Yeah. You just had, that was silly. So silly.
How about a different approach? And it may seem very bizarre, but would they possibly do? Although I guess technically we do have a pro version already.
Yeah.
Would there be some sort of deluxe console which has a standard type hard drive in it, or at least a higher capacity flash memory?
So you're saying like a Wii U XL type?
Yeah, like an XL or an Elite or something of that vein. So if they went like the hard drive like from a PS or Xbox One, you have like 500 gigs or a terabyte of normal hard drive, or at least 64 gig or 120 gig of flash memory or something. And obviously with a price increase and some sort of cool paint job to entice people to upgrade, could that possibly be a thing? Or is that just in the complete wrong direction?
I think they're more focused more on making the thing cheaper
Yeah.
rather than making it more elite.
How about, would they change the gamepad at all? Because that's probably a huge price factor of the Wii U.
It is. I mean, yeah, I think the gamepad could do with some a slight redesign. Maybe make it more. Actually, I don't know, because of the way the gamepad's been utilised so far. I just don't think that the screen needs to be that big.
True.
On a gamepad, because it hasn't been used that well. It's usually like a map or something.
Yeah.
So surely they can just slim it down a bit. Yeah, maybe make it more compact, more comfortable to hold.
They can maybe even make it just a bit more like a large Pro controller, and with the screen in the middle.
Definitely, but then at that point it becomes like a Dreamcast controller.
Well, I guess.
With the VMU unit,
Yeah, I mean, it could be something in that vein, at least. But yeah, I mean, the gamepad does have a pretty big screen right in the middle of the controller. I mean, you could have a smaller version of that, which would seem to work for almost everything. It would be trickier for just playing off TV on some games.
It would, yeah. I mean, because the screen would be much more compact.
But it would have the same resolution, so as long as you've got a sharp pair of eyes on you, in theory...
a working pair of eyes and you'll be
Working
okay.
pair, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be losing anything as such. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, what I could see is not even necessarily like any sort of pro version or cheap version, is that they just replace the current one with a bit of a sexier looking version. So they do the changes to the gamepads. Maybe they don't even change the screen size, but they get rid of a lot of the space around it.
Yeah.
And for the actual console itself, maybe they change the design up a bit. I'm not sure how they'll do it. Maybe add some more curves in there or something, or some extra lights.
It's already pretty curvy. I mean, what else could you do with it?
I don't know. Maybe they get the old...
Make it less curvy.
They
Turn it
bring
into a
back the
GameCube.
Wii vertical stand. Just do something with it. And so they can show it off in some new
Redesign the
programming
console.
materials.
We'll give it a stand and make it stand up.
I mean, it's mainly to...
The Wii U already stands up either way.
That's true, yeah.
Well, yeah, it did have
Well,
those
if
weird
you had the
feet,
little
didn't it?
things on the bottom. I mean,
Yeah,
the little...
that's right.
Yeah, but I think the redesign would be mostly for the gamepad. But I mean, if you touch that, then you kind of need to change the console a bit, because the two do go together. I think it'd be a very confusing message if you just change one or the other. But yeah, I think that could help. Just making it look a bit better, especially with the controller. I mean, it's perfectly functional. It's a very nice controller, but it looks a bit...
It's just a bit bulky.
It is. And there's a lot of just like...
Excess plastic.
Yeah,
Just
basically.
saying nothing.
Yeah, and very rectangular. It seems odd in design when Nintendo's usually
Do you want it to be square or
so good in ergonomics.
a more appealing shape?
Well, yeah, I think they originally were too concerned making it kind of look like a weird tablet. Where I think we're kind of over that now.
Well,
Just make it look like
it-
a comfortable game controller with a big screen in the middle, and that's cool.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, it made it to the point where, like, the fact that's, like, what is the gamepad's use aside from just being a touchscreen? It has to have something else based on there to, engage me. There has to be use for it.
Well, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying that it would take away or add any functionality. It would just be putting in a slightly different form factor. So yeah, chuck some more curves on the controller. Make it feel more like a GameCube controller or a Pro Controller before it. Yeah, I mean, that's something they could do. Again, I'm not sure that's necessarily going to help them with the costs, but at least it will make it feel a bit more fresh. And it seems like a good time for the life cycle of the console to do that sort of thing, if they were going to do it. It doesn't seem like it's too soon to be like a rushed reaction, or too late to be, no point in doing it. So yeah, something they could do. So any final E3 predictions before we move on? No?
No, I'm pretty sure I got that. What I want to.
There will be surprises. That's all I gotta say. There will be surprises. I don't know what those are.
There'll be surprises, and there will be Amiibo.
The only thing I was going to say is
Okay.
I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw a sequel announced for Hyrule Warriors.
I can
Because
get behind that.
purely on the strength that even Koei said that they were surprised how much it sold. And it's the best-selling Warriors game they've had for a very long time.
I'll say it sold like what was it, over 1 million worldwide.
Over 1 million,
So.
yeah.
Mm.
And no Warriors game has done that for a long time.
And from what I can tell from that series, I think the reason why they do so many spin-offs and so on is that it's a very solid template to do so quite quickly
they can
and
turn
easily.
these out very, very quickly.
Which means having already done the first one, it would be even easier and even cheaper
That's
to
right.
do a sequel of that spin-off.
Because everything's already set in place, so you've got to add stuff to it.
They just need to put new assets in there, essentially, and new levels and so on, and they're done. Yes, I could easily see that. Maybe that could add the Zelda-y flavour into the show.
I'm not even sure if it warrants a whole new game. Maybe they'll just announce even more DLC for it.
That's the thing, we've had loads of DLC, though. I think at this point it is a new game, if they're going to add new content.
Yeah, so.
Especially on their end as well, if you're going to kind of easily make a lot more money.
True.
By
Very true.
spinning out another disc. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I don't think we're going to see anything from the phone side or from NX or any of that stuff.
I think we may see an update on it.
Okay.
I mean, maybe a smidge of it, but we won't see anything from NX. I highly doubt we see anything from Quality of Life, which I completely forgot that was still a thing. Is it wrong between the phone deal, like the mobile deal with DNA, and
NX.
what thing is with Quality of Life? You'd think like the Quality of Life is kind of going the way of the same thing with the Vitality Sensor.
I knew he was going to say
Early irony.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I agree.
I reckon it's quietly building away, bubbling up. But yeah, I think it's just completely got nothing to do with us, especially after the last thing we heard about it being some sort of wireless sleep detector.
Yeah.
I think they are building that as like some sort of, I guess, second pillar to the Nintendo business, because currently they're just about games, and I think they're building up this other technology thing, just to give this company a bit more resilience.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, Nintendo can do pretty much whatever they like, as long as it doesn't detract away from their video game business.
Nah, I don't think the Quality of Life thing will. It seems so different.
Yeah, Quality of Life I think is going to go that same way as far as technological devices, like something like, you guys ever heard of Fitbit?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's a big market, and yeah, I think it's one Nintendo's going to try and compete with, especially, we should probably do a whole show for this, or at least a segment. They use the term non-wearable, and the wearable segment is quite hot currently. So it's interesting that way back when they announced the thing, that they said they were going to leapfrog this whole entire, I guess, branch of technology which is happening currently.
That's always ended badly. So there was always like, we're going to skip it. I mean, PS3 started off pretty badly, N64, yeah.
Yeah.
The idea of leaving something never really works out.
Okay, we move on now to our listener questions. and we have 2 questions from yourselves today. The first is from Frederick Bustles. I can't believe no one's posed this question yet.
No, really? Okay.
I
Throw it at
this
us.
was hinted from yourself, Harrison. What was or is your Nintendo crush, if you had one?
This is very... wow.
And I think we've got yourself to blame for this one, Harrison.
Why? Because I had... What was it I said? I forgot.
I think you jokingly suggested this as a question to ask us.
Oh, God. I can't believe it.
Thank you, Harris.
And so, Harrison,
If I'm gonna say
you may
it-
answer first.
Well, wow. If you're going to say it... You guys know because of I'm a fan of the series. And you know what? I'm going to go down to it and...
Oh,
yes,
Star
it's a
Fox,
very
isn't it?
strong female character that I really enjoy, and of course it has to come down to, and well, let me start over. It's like some may not say that she's very strong, some may say like she's very kind of forgotten, and as far as I can say, I'm going to have to say is who the hell Mario's girlfriend was during Donkey Kong, Paulina.
Paulina,
Yeah. You thought I was going to say Samus. You thought it was. You thought it was.
A
I thought
strong
you were gonna
woman.
say Slippy.
That's just...
I just put that's just a name I throw out because I don't know. If something like a huge giant gorilla decides to take away my woman, part of me is like, well, maybe I didn't deserve her anyway. Either way, so. But this one, it makes it better. You realize she's highly sought after. So there we go.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, you could say the same thing for, Bowser and Peach. But then again, Bowser, I really feel like, well, with Peach, she just constantly gets kidnapped. So, but whereas Pauline, it's only happened once.
Well, so at least Pauline, at least in her original renditions, is kind of just regular human proportions and all that. It's just an attractive girl in a red dress. So in terms of all the different characters Nintendo's created, it's not the worst.
Well,
person to have a crush on, is it?
I will give her this, whatever, as somebody who's a damsel in distress, whatever, as she's just on that, wreckage, like, in the game, and my part of myself, like, going back now, I'm like, he's throwing barrels, run away!
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't seem that he was necessarily in between him and you, because wasn't Pauline just kind of in the middle and Donkey Kong on the left? It seems that she could run away without being trapped, as it were.
Oh wait, you're quite correct. He could have ran that way. Wow. Thank you for putting me in my place for Donkey Kong arcade logic. I never thought that would happen. Wow.
Okay, so Colin, I hope you have an entertaining answer for us.
I'll try my best. I mean, we're going back quite a few years. I mean, when I was about 14, and I played Ocarina of Time, and I quite liked the Desert Stage.
Oh,
Desert
okay.
Stage?
Oh,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
The
The light temple sage.
No, the Desert Stage. Yeah.
No. That's what I'm saying. No, from the desert in the Gerudo Desert. That's the light temple, I believe.
Well, that's right. It is. Yeah. I'll try. Is it Nabaru? Nabaru? I can't.
Never.
Yeah, the name I can never pronounce, but yeah. No, I thought, yeah. Very nice.
Colin's response. Very nice. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, Lewis, go.
quite the
Since you're a married man.
Oh, exactly, yeah. It's one I've oddly. It's a question I've already answered on a podcast before.
Oh.
I'm not sure if either of you have listened to that particular show or that particular episode. I think it was the first time I was joined on with the Nintendo Sushi podcast. I happened to have got asked this question, and so I'll give the same answer because it was an honest answer.
Continuity is always good.
It is also, a good trait to have.
Rather.
And this one comes from a Game Boy Advance game.
Oh.
Wow.
I'll give out some hints and see if anyone can guess it.
It's Shantae, isn't it?
It's not Shantae.
Oh.
How have I say it was a game which had strategy in it. It was a game developed by Intelligent Systems.
Advance Wars.
You've got the game.
Is it a character in Advance Wars?
It is a character in Advance Wars. Can you get the character?
Oh,
It's that one girl that has a tank top and the she's got red hair.
That's Sammy, I believe.
Sammy, yep, there it is.
It's not
Yep.
her. She's actually the most my favourite character to play as. But no, it wasn't my pick for this question at the time.
I'm just running through the characters in my head. And I just can't.
It may not be an obvious one, despite it being definitely a character which isn't hidden in any way.
No, it's gone. It's gone.
I'll come right out and say it. But this was basically the game's mascot, which was Nell. And so
That's what it was.
So she was on the menu screens, and she basically took you through the tutorials and so on. And the reason being is, I don't know, there's not really much to it, but she's, again, of human proportions. She looks quite cute, and she's a, long girl of good figure sort of thing. And I guess I was just the right sort of age. But I remember saying on that podcast, I mean, as a character, however, she does strike a good balance between getting you through a lot of tutorial type stages with a lot of wordy text without being an annoying character, at least in my opinion, which I found in games is a very tricky balance to do. Usually if a character takes you through a long tutorial process, you end up finding that character really annoying because you kind of remember them being that nagging, annoying character.
Yeah, that's right.
But for now, after the tutorial and just seeing her pop up in the menus and so on, I didn't think she was an annoying character. I thought she was a cool character. And so she's got that going for her as well. And I can't remember if I ever did this, but she was also the last unlockable character in that game. And I believe she had the best stats or something. But that was a ridiculously hard game in terms of if you wanted to start S-ranking things and so on. And I don't believe I ever unlocked her, because that required doing everything else if memory serves me correct. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. Nell from Advance Wars.
That's a very surprising. Wow, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, okay, we'll move on to our second listener question. This one is from Caleb Carlili. Oh, I hope I pronounced your surname correct. I remember playing GoldenEye with my cousins when I was little. We would set up contraptions to block our view of the other screen to avoid the dreaded screen watching.
Wait, what? Okay, go.
Well, I can... I'll do a quick detour. I think it must be some sort of weird cardboard contraption.
Yeah.
I remember seeing photos of such a thing. I never tried it myself. So you would have to sit on one side or the other. I don't know how it would work in 4-player, but I think someone did that.
She used tubes.
Tubes, alright. Okay, and on to the question. What is your favourite childhood memory with a Nintendo game?
Oh.
So do we have memories like Caleb's screen non-watching contraptions while playing GoldenEye?
We have a lot of memories, a lot that are very cherished.
I've got a lot of memories of GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. I remember having many a sleepover or just long gaming day sessions playing that with a group of friends that crowded over the one TV. They were good memories growing up as a kid.
I'm gonna say with mine. Mine was in 2006. I mean, I've had many great memories, be it playing a game, seeing games announced, or just, seeing other people play, for instance. Mine is dealt with buying something. And that comes down in November, I think it was November 19th, 2006, when the Wii launched.
Okay.
I waited in line. I waited, not in line, but specifically in chairs, whatever, on a Saturday, got there around noon on a Saturday, sat down in the lawn and garden section of a local Walmart, and waited for the next 12 hours until the Wii launched, just so I can play, Twilight Princess. And why is it significant for me is because it was the first time I actually sat in on a console launch and bought a console for the first time with my own money.
That's always a big moment, yeah.
That is the one thing on there. And granted, I have my opinions against the Wii, basically, as far as a phenomenon or just has a good collection of games, but it's it was, with the fact that, casual wear. But this one it felt great for me because I was buying a console that I wanted, and for a game that I waited so while, like when it was first announced in Twilight Princess, that itself was just a bit of like left me in euphoria. I mean, as soon as I got out there, I mean, there were so many twists and turns because there was a guy that I knew, a friend of mine who was in line with me, and his card got canceled, and yeah, he was like the second to last person. No, his credit card got canceled, and they said like, "Is there anything I can do?" He's like, the clerk said, "If you can go and withdraw money, whatever, and give it to me in the next 10, 12 minutes, it's yours. If not, I'm giving it to somebody else." And we just barreled out of there to the nearest like ATM, and we ran back. And that was that. You know, that was that. And no, but I have a lot of memories for that because it was the fact that like, you know, I had saved money up for that. But it was the first home console. Yeah, like I said, that I bought with my own money. But you know, I did buy a Game Boy Advance with my own money. I did that. I bought that, whatever, saved up 122, like what was it, $130 just for that little piece of handheld, and never looked back. But this one, plopping down $250 plus the additional $50 in tax for that console, that ranks up there for me. Just because I waited, you know, upwards of like 12 plus hours just to get this console.
That's pretty awesome. I would echo my same Wii launch stories as a really great gaming memory. But that would be very cheap for me just to leave it there. So what I would say back in my school days, when Pokemon launched, I was the right age for that game to come out. And it just really took off. I think it took over the whole world, basically. But I was the right age, so I was playing it, on my Game Boy at school with my friends, and we had link cables, and we would trade and battle. And this was also the time when the trading cards and so on all kicked off. And obviously the TV show was airing at the same time, and it was really cool just to be kind of just all enraptured in all the different facets of Pokemon. And yeah, it was really cool, and it was good because it was new as well, and having the two different versions and trading ones which you couldn't get. But it seemed like it was kind of the first of its kind as well, being like something which was a game and a TV show and some other bits and bobs, which were all good, opposed to being rubbish. And so yeah, I've got a lot of good memories of Pokemon, and yeah, that's probably the one I'll leave here. But yeah, I've dabbled in all the Pokemon games since, but Red and Blue are definitely my favourite game, and Mewtwo is definitely the best legendary.
Oh no! Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? If not, we can show you.
No, he's definitely the coolest looking. How about you, Colin?
Well, I'm going to go all the way back to, I don't know the exact month, but it's definitely springtime, 2002. I would have been 11 at the time, 11 years old, and I've got two older brothers, and I never really played games with them as such. But around that same time, we got the Pikachu N64, which was glorious. Yeah, so we all sat down, and my brother had a copy of Mario Party 3. And so he said, okay, I've got 3 controllers. We'll all sit down, we'll play a game together. First time we've ever done this. Yeah, that day I learnt some very interesting new words. My 2 older brothers were swearing at each other quite explicitly. But it was such a great, to have that sort of experience where you bond, with your siblings over a game. I mean, we played for like 3 hours straight. And, yeah.
It's easy to forget, but the old Mario Party games are actually really good with a bunch of people.
They are.
I don't care what Mario Party game it is. It's like, even though it's like, if somebody has Mario Party and we have a bunch of people, I'm up for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just a fantastic time. It's always awesome.
Excellent. Okay, I'm going to give this one to you, Harrison. We've got 2 questions, but which one was our star question, which is going to win our digital Twisted Fusion goodie bag?
Well, the one that actually kind of made me reflect the most on there, and that is, of course, Caleb on this one. No. With Frederick, I understand that one. The fact that it was a question that was nobody's asked about it, or it was probably against me. I'm just Caleb, you made me bring back like a lot of stuff swirled in my memory as far as my favorite on there. And that day when I bought a Wii, whatever, for my first console that I bought with my own money, I slightly teared up a bit.
That's awesome.
That's very nice. I think it's just you just don't want to give any positive feedback to Frederick, so we don't get more similar questions.
Oh, he will. Frederick, send similar questions your way. Anything else? It's like whatever game
He's gonna say it.
Go on. What female Nintendo character would you like to cosplay as? I don't know.
Why do you say these things?
And my answer would be like, I don't know. My answer would be, I don't know. Which one's outfit's the least, most comfortable?
I shotgun Samus. In body armor, not
Body
in
armor,
zero suit.
Not in zero suit. Okay, body armor, you shotgun Samus.
You can take Pauline. Colin. You can do Peach.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, before we go on to the bonus round, I should note out you can also send in your own questions either via email hello@nintendovoice.com or on Twitter. You can tweet us at Nintendo Voice. Send us an interesting question, and if we pick it as our star question, you will receive a Twisted Fusion digital goodie bag, which includes beta access. And we move on now to our bonus rounds. In the bonus round, we give you a question, and we talk about the answers that you gave us from the last episode. And the question we asked you last time was, what are your E3 predictions? And we do have quite a lot of responses. The first is from Gorny. I predict a new Pokemon game as 3DS is a bit quiet at the moment.
Well, we discussed that as well.
We did, yeah.
Let's touch on.
Next we have Wesley. I'm going to go crazy and say that Nintendo will announce a brand new Mario game for the Wii U and a Pokemon game.
He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. They're too big. They're too big to have that, man.
I like the commentary. Rory Hughes. I predict a game that centers around Amiibo, sandbox style, where you build your own world using stuff from many franchises.
He's got the right idea.
Yeah.
Leighton for Smash says, our wackier predictions. Where Wii U where? Donkey Kong Country returns free.
You're barking up a really bad tree with that one, man, with me.
Super Mario Galaxy 3. And special NES/Game & Watch style packaging Rob and Game & Watch Amiibo. And there's a lot of acronyms then to get through. We also have a prediction from...
What was like Wii U where? Oh, okay, WarioWare.
WarioWare, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
that was very clever. I was like, that's impressive.
I was going to say, you were making up things on the fly. We will not make with that. That will not rule on here on Nintendo Voice.
Caleb Kalili says, my prediction for E3 is a bunch of Mario games since this year is the 30th anniversary of Mario. So we didn't pick up on. I hope to see a Paper Mario game for the Wii U, a 3D platformer for the Wii U, as well as a remake of Super Mario Sunshine on the 3DS.
Is that why you asked that?
Well, it's Colin which asked that, not me.
Colin, is that the reason why you just looked in there?
No, so I said Wii U though. My one, I think that's a Wii U.
Oh, on 3DS, okay. That I would not mind.
But Caleb says, possibly a new 3DS exclusive because of hardware restraints. And a big announcement of some new type of Mario game we haven't seen before. Well, firstly, that's a lot of Mario games they have announced. How many is it? Let's give it a quick count.
I don't know. Last year was like lacking in Mario, so...
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's a good point.
So that's basically 4 new Mario games he's predicting there.
Yeah, and if history shows anything, Nintendo doesn't really care about the 30th or 25th anniversaries that much.
Well, yeah, for the 25th, we had, a repackaging of Super Mario All-Stars?
Yeah.
But released on a Wii DVD.
A Wii disc.
Yeah.
That was it, I mean... Wow.
So I can't imagine much of the capacity of that Wii disc was being used.
No, because it's literally just a ROM on a disc.
A ROM, yes, of Super Mario All-Stars. And it wasn't even the version which came with Super Mario World.
Yeah.
Yeah,
how cheap is that?
Exactly, because that's the version I had of my Super Nintendo. And so I can't believe they didn't even have that for the 25th version. Especially since it costs over here at least like £30
It's like they remembered
or
at
so.
the last second. Like, oh, we best do something. And we'll
Yeah.
just put, here you go. But yeah, I think Zelda had a way better anniversary than Mario did, which is...
Oh, it definitely did, yeah.
Hell, Metroid never did get a 25th anniversary.
No.
That's right.
However, our last answer to the bonus round is a lengthy one, so do hold on. This is all one. This is one which is left.
That is brevity, man. Brevity. We love brevity. Come on.
So this is Lewis Lloyd Judson, who starts off, Punch-Out beatboxing announced. Play by blowing into the microphone.
Oh, wow. This is... I thought he just...
That's glorious.
Okay, go. All right.
EA decides that they do actually like money and release Bejeweled on the Wii U gamepad.
I know where this is going. Keep going.
And you take on Super Mario All-Stars for the 30th anniversary. Part of Mario Maker, perhaps?
No, keep making us laugh.
Twisted Fusion is delayed 6 months, while the nifty gamepad features are removed for a multi-platform release. I should probably say that is not the current plan.
I was going to say, Lewis, if Sony ever came up to you and said, look, we'll give you this big bag of money to publish this game for you, would you release it on our system?
Oh, well, my obvious developer integrity would kick in.
I'm sure it would.
And I would ask for another money bag. Satoru Shibata, dressed as a squid, dropped some hot deets for European games. The TV icon is to be replaced with a shortcut to the daylight savings time setting.
That'll be useful.
Something about football, and Netflix for the 3DS.
Doesn't Netflix already exist on the 3DS?
No, over here it doesn't.
No, as far as it is.
We just got BBC's iPlayer on the Wii U, which is kind of our biggest
that's the
digital
thing
content.
that every other system had at launch. And it took the Wii U, 3 years to get it? Or 2.5 years to get it? I mean,
wait, so you guys did not have Netflix or anything like that on 3D? Wow. Huh.
Oh, we have had Netflix on the Wii U. We don't have it for the 3DS, and we only recently got BBC iPlayer. But BBC is quite a big deal over here, so it's
obviously.
Sooner.
But Netflix on a 3DS, I know it's a handheld, but it's like, I don't know. You're better off just watching on your phone.
Yeah, I'd have thought so, but it is a peculiar admission. However, the next point.
I love this one. This, as a Phantasy Star Online fan, this is
good.
So funny.
Phantasy Star Online 2 is announced for the Wii U. Only for South Korea, though.
Oh, wow.
Of course it is.
Metroid
I'll be importing.
Metroid Prime Trilogy is to be re-released with Splatoon-style controls. Everyone complains bitterly, but buys it anyway.
I mean, I know I'll buy it. I'll eat that up.
I am curious with the old Splatoon-style controls, though. Would that make all these games third person?
Yeah, I was going to say third person.
That would be quite cool. In fact, I probably would re-buy Metroid Prime Trilogy in third person with the Splatoon controllers, yeah. I think that's quite an apt description if that was to happen. A trailer is shown for a brand new first-person tickling game featuring wombats set in feudal Japan.
Who are you?
I have no words for this. This is just insane.
And finally, I think we got a bonus bit here because there obviously wasn't enough written beforehand. Nintendo's annual general meeting of shareholder predictions, which I should note we didn't ask for. After the runaway success of Splatoon, Nintendo announces that they're leaving the console market to focus on their hip new clothing range named NX.
Wow.
Well, Colin, good luck choosing who you want on that.
It's a tough choice.
I should note here, however, Lewis has won one of the prizes before.
So take that into consideration, yes.
Put that into consideration.
I mean...
and also, as a bonus thing, and to make it more transparent, Lewis is actually the guy who drew our Splatoon-themed Nintendo voice artwork.
Ah, thank you, Lewis.
Well, good artist, and he's pretty funny. So, I think it's down to me to choose one of these. I mean, just for the WoWie exactly. Like, what will you wear? I think I love that. So Leighton for Smash has to win it just for that. I mean,
We've given a bit of
pretty good.
exposure as well for his cause, I feel.
Yeah, yeah,
So I think it's all in the name there. But if you agree with this guy, you know what to do, essentially.
that's right. So yeah,
Excellent. Okay, the digital goodie bag will be on its way to you. As well, in the same vein as the questions, you can send in an answer to this next question, which is, which Nintendo world would you like to visit on a vacation? And why? I don't think we need to necessarily give examples, but a world from a Nintendo game, what would make a good vacation for yourself and why? Send us an answer, either via email, hello@nintendovoice.com, or you can tweet us at Nintendo Voice. And if you tweet us, please give the hashtag Nintendo Vacation.
Nintendo vacay.
Well, no, keep it the same. It makes it searching easier.
No. It's gonna be split down the middle. People with Nintendo vacation. Oh, let's go to vacay. All those you friggin' millennials.
Well, hashtag Nintendo Holiday. Keep it simple.
there you go.
There you go.
Okay, and that does bring us to the end of our 5th episode. Once again, thanks
We've
for
done
listening.
we've done
Whoa.
5 of these.
We've done 5 of these.
We've done
Yeah.
5 of these?
Yeah.
You sound so shocked.
I do.
Is that
I'm
a
not-
microphone?
I feel like we've done like 10 of these.
No, we're only halfway there to double figures. We're not in the big leagues yet, son. So this has been episode 5. Thanks for listening.
Later, everybody.